Hey there, this is Jar Jar Jabroni coming to you live, letting you know that you were listening to part two of this week's episode of Open Comms Radio. Part two because it went extra long because we had a very, very special guest. LensNation joined us this week. If you don't know LensNation, check him out. Maybe start on the YouTube, find out some of his cool videos. If you do, give him a like, give him a subscribe, and hey, while you're here, listen to Open Comms. Wherever you are, like, subscribe, follow, leave us a comment. Let us know, and you might hear it back this week, this episode. We're going to read your comments live. We had some good ones this week. After that, we'll talk a little bit about Star Citizen, and then we will dive into the depths of the internet and the algorithms. Share with you what we know. Are we experts? Are we qualified to talk about this stuff? No, of course not. We're just doing this for your entertainment. So with no further ado, sit back, relax, and enjoy Open Comms Radio. Well done, Lord Nubis. Lord Nubis, I'm going to be honest. I don't know what we planned. I never know what we planned.
He never
I
does.
had
It's hard for me to plan.
spelled it out. It was really cool.
You
but
said
I'll
weather. You spelled weather.
We're not.
Yeah.
People aren't logging in here for the weather.
Oh,
They're here. They're here for drug-laced green drinks. We want to talk about teabagging.
Yeah, it's look, man. They're either listening to this or like Iran. So this is just
no, they're watching One Piece
what's left.
season 2.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. You know, I saw Castlevania. You saw the Castlevania show? Anybody?
No.
Yeah, I saw like the first season. It was good.
Very good. Very good.
Both the Castlevania and Nocturne were both incredible.
Yeah. Lord Nubis, thank you for coming to Open Comms Radio, your Star Citizen call-in show. This week's question: can I play Star Citizen with my kids?
Well, I don't have kids. The closest thing I have to it would be like my girlfriend's kid, and stepkid. He's in his 20s now, and really got into it. And I would say that this is not even a comparison to what you're looking for. But I would think that as a parent, raises a kid in the internet age, that I don't really think there really are any safe spaces. It really comes down to, are you going to participate in an online activity with the proper parenting to teach a kid, hey, look, you're going to see some things that are disturbing. You're going to see these things. We can talk about it. And if they can trust you, then you really don't really have to worry about too much, because they'll come to you. So can you play with your kid? Yeah. Just like anything else, it's more meta than that.
Can I say something? When we decided on this topic, I thought the conversation was going to go differently. In my mind, I was like, kids can't play Star Citizen. Kids are dumb. And that's like how the trajectory I thought this conversation was going. You guys are coming in.
They're annoyingly smart, Jar Jar.
The education of Jar Jar.
I don't know, dude. All my nephews and they're all like little babies. They're all
I'll just put it this way. Gen Alpha has what, no cap or cap. Exposed to millennial, Zennial, or whatever they call me now.
I don't know what that means.
I think that's Gen Z.
Well, no cap means I'm saying this truthfully. There's no lies here.
Gotcha.
But the thing is that actually dates back to a word from the 15th century, which was a capper, who was a person who was known for telling lies. So when someone is saying they're not capping, they would say that in the 15th century. So they're bringing back shit way back in the day, and they're annoyingly smart, as Duke said.
The human evolution. I met a 15-year-old. Well, that would be a kid, right? Or maybe he was 14. His name. Okay, let's not even talk about his name. But met him at an Enter Atmosphere, and he was with his dad there too. He came to the event, and most of the time we actually thought it was his dad who played the game and he was hanging around. But it was the other way around. His dad knew nothing about Star Citizen, but he brought his kid over there. Since then, I've met this kid multiple times because he joined the Discord and he's in the same organization now, Southern Cross Alliance in Australia. What a brilliant kid he is. It's like he's way wiser beyond his years. The way he talks to you, the way he behaves. I think Star Citizen is actually perfect for a certain kind of, temperament. It's very patient. You can't do anything quick. It's absolutely opposite of all the other games that the kids are feeding on.
Yeah, it is. It's not, Fortnite's really twitchy, right? I played that recently. All those games, they're like really fast and really twitchy, I think. Overwatch and stuff, even the ones that have long time to kill.
They're like an assault on your senses at sometimes, like even sound, visuals, everything is just all over the place. I can't play the games. I can't play Overwatch because my reflexes are not that sharp. It's not a judgment on the games, but those kind of things don't appeal to me. I like slow gameplay, and Star Citizen gives me that.
Well, if you like slow gameplay in Star Citizen, one second, Duke, they're increasing time to kill. Kind of
Yeah,
across the
TTK
board.
is getting high. Yes. Yeah.
What do we think about
Well,
this?
everything is fluid, Jar Jar, and I would like to actually hear about what everybody thinks about it, because not just the TTK, but everything in Star Citizen, like every part of the gameplay, like everything we know is going to change. This is not the final iteration. And we see Reddit, and I'm not going to say content creators because they need something to talk about and they will pick on anything. But the discussion about how much we talk about min-maxing things, why this is being done this way, to the level that it's not feedback anymore, but it's like our personal priorities. Doesn't it make any sense? Because everything's going to change. Nothing's going to stay the same. We are at tier 0 at most of the things. Do we need to worry about this? What do you guys think?
I think with engineering coming, it's going to change that entire dynamic
There
altogether.
you go.
It's going to
Yeah.
change organically.
Yeah. There you go.
Draco?
Yeah, I think if you look at just ship combat in a vacuum, it doesn't seem like it's going to be as much fun. But if you look at it, the scope of the whole game, where you're having to spend so much time prepping, that like getting your vehicles onto, let's just say your Asgard, right? If your Asgard doesn't go down as fast, it doesn't feel like you wasted so much. So I think from like the perspective of like the whole game, I think increasing the time to kill just makes it feel better. But whenever you're looking at just space combat, it's not going to feel as good.
Anyone else have an opinion on TTK right now? I know our next guest has an opinion, so.
Oh, I'm all for higher TTK. It just.
Well, if it helps delay our next guest, then yeah, I have an opinion. No, I mean,
right.
there is an aspect of going PvE and kind of feeling like a badass sometimes, and it feels kind of good. Maybe they need to have missions where you can kind of do more swarm kind of things in game rather than, ones that, because usually when they have smaller games or sorry, lower level missions, they tend to only have a few enemies. There's not like the waves and waves and waves, and I think that they need more of that kind of stuff.
Okay.
I disagree.
Murphy Jack, you're here on Open Comms Radio. Murphy Jack, I feel like you're going to prefer to take a stab at time to kill here. What do you think of the time to kill increases that have been advertised to us?
Yeah, I don't really have much to say about kids and Star Citizen. I mean, it's great. Bring them in. But yeah, TTK. Well, yesterday we tested some things out a little more, and there's extreme salt being thrown everywhere about this. And I think the consensus we came to last night when we were talking is they didn't go far enough on certain ships, and they went too far on other ships, meaning light fighters, medium fighters got like a higher TTK when they really shouldn't have. if anything, should almost go less. And they should have made the weapons like making attritions able to punch through everything, even a Perseus, is kind of like,
Just
well,
what
wait.
was
I
the point,
mean,
right?
kind of dial it back a little bit. Like, make it so the Infernos, the Ions, the cannon loadouts, all that have an actual purpose where they got to come in and whittle away at that armor for you. So then, like, your fighters, your traditional fighters with your repeaters or whatever, can come in and do damage to the bigger ships or fight their escorts that have repeaters and stuff on them. I just feel like they kind of didn't go far enough in some ways, and it goes back to multi-crew ships being like good. I mean, I feel like we just keep dancing around the fact that they need to make turrets able to hit targets. Whether that's be make turret weapons bespoke like they did with the vehicle missiles, right? Being able to have these vehicle missiles that lock on at shorter distances and all that stuff. Why not have bespoke turret weapons that have a faster velocity than so they can actually reach out and touch these targets, these light fighters
Do you
that
mean a
swarm.
faster turning velocity or bullet velocity?
No, bullet velocity.
Okay.
I mean, because when we were running the Banner Defender guns, I forget the name of them, but the Banner
Singe.
Defender guns on the the Singes on the Hurricane, that the projectile velocity is what made it worthwhile. I mean, and not to mention the high alpha, but it took a bit to get used to those weapons. But that just shows like the higher projectile speed makes a turret deadlier. I mean, to me, it seems kind of like a simple change, but I understand maybe why they can't or it's not a simple change because the weapons you can take a turret weapon and put it on your ship, right?
Right. I mean, they're the same guns.
But it just goes back
Yeah, but
to
there's got to be a way to
uh,
get the buff attached to the turret. You'd think.
if attritions are going to get through everything, then it's just the loadouts just shifted on the fighters, not their tactics. I mean, they're still just going to come and whittle away at you.
Dance
And if
around
you're in a
you. Yeah.
hammerhead, an anti fighter Corvette, you can't do anything. PvP, of course.
Did the radar changes make that feel any better?
Not really, because it's kind of the same when you have your power in there. I mean, I get what they're trying to do with that, but it doesn't seem like enough,
Well,
It seems like a
yeah. I don't want to say it's half baked, but it is. Like whether or not whatever their vision or plan is, currently in its current form, it's half baked. Um,
well, and remember
they've
a
been doing
couple
that with
patches
everything.
ago, they
Hmm.
tried the what was it? Something with the distances, right? The distance got shortened or something to bring the fighters in closer.
Yes.
But that got
Those,
reverted.
yeah.
Then I swear
Pretty quickly, also.
when we were playing in Evo, I could have swore that weren't doing damage with like attritions, but I apparently we were. But I thought when we were talking and scheming, we were like, oh, man, finally it'll give a reason for like the Vanguard to come in with its size 5 cannons and stuff. But it's just like we're just kind of like it's a good start, but I mean I don't know. It's just this has always been a topic for the past 10 years. It just keeps going around and around and around. And why haven't we increased muscle velocity? And that's why we even got into like theory crafting of engineering. Like have the engineer put more power pips or shift power from like having your clip size in the turret. Make your clip size smaller, but as you're making it smaller, you're increasing the velocity of the projectiles. But have it so only the engineer can do it and like shift power around. I know it's complicated, but make the engineer vital in this too on these bigger ships. Because right now they're arguably not really worth it, except in these really like niche cases like we had with the Idris the other night, where we got boarded and fire and all that stuff. But I just yeah, that's
It's
Well, I'm
just
wondering
less, yeah, go for
if
it.
if they could introduce a system where an engineer can craft maybe, like you have mining of gadgets, but maybe an engineer can craft more effective gadgets that, let's say, boost, your engine speed or boost your fire rate for a certain amount of time or
At a
things like
power
that.
pit. Just
Well, they
even
talked
Yeah.
about tuning. I mean, tuning was supposed to be a thing, remember? And I mean, it's even sort of in there because you can save the presets. But
Yeah.
I mean, back in the day, we used to be able to overclock components. I mean, it
Yeah.
was just pushing a button, but still, like,
Yeah, I think that's the kind of stuff now that they have more flexibility with, that they could bring in, and who knows, maybe they might be planning on it. I haven't seen anything about that like recently, but I mean, it's possible.
it's just everybody talks about multi-crew not being deadly, and that should be the focus. Is making you put all that effort and putting 6 people in a hammerhead or what have you, right? You should be a threat. Like it should be deadly, and you should have to counter that. But
Yeah.
just right now, there's just zero. You get a couple competent people and light fighters, and you're done.
Yeah, and
And I feel like
sorry, go Duke.
it should be noted for anyone wondering, but Murphy is a fighter jock.
Yeah, if you couldn't tell.
Well,
No, I'm saying like he's arguing to weaken his own side here. He wants
Yeah.
the multi-crew ships to be stronger. He's not a Care Bear sitting in his Idris complaining that he can't solo it.
I mean, I guess you want a reason to jump into an Ares.
yeah, I want the reason for the bigger ships for the, you know, back when the Redeemer was good. Remember years ago, we loved it, and we'd go out and scan the ground for the ballistas, and that whole multi-crew of talking, and like Distorpius, right? The old Distorpius, talking to your gunner, and that interaction is so good. But I mean, you have it with fighters, but it's just different,
I miss the Redeemer. That was fun.
I do too.
Well,
Make
speaking
the
of things that
Redeemer
we
great
miss,
again.
speaking of things we miss, we have hold on. We have another caller here who's been waiting for us and being very patient. It is, you know him, you love him. It is Wikkett. Wikkett, welcome to Open Comms Radio, your Star Citizen call-in show. You know you can call in every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Time, at 10 a.m. New Zealand Perth time. Wikkett, can I play Star Citizen with my kids?
Citizens, longtime listener, occasional caller,
Wikkett.
and the short answer is no. You cannot play Star Citizen with your children.
Finally, someone with some sense. I've been with these
In
jabronis all
the
night.
Western world, that would be considered child abuse. What are you
Yeah.
What are you trying to do? You're exposing the child to this. I don't know what it's called. No, of course you can play with your kids, but I would say that most kids nowadays, the gaming generation, I think their attention span is lacking. They've been conditioned to swipe. They're constantly needing that adrenaline. Of course, there are going to be some exceptions to that rule. Lens's son being one. This other kid that he was talking about. These are exceptions. But I think for the most part, I don't know if you've ever seen those videos on YouTube where the guy goes like into Times Square in New York City and he asks questions like he just picks some random young adult or adolescent out of the crowd and says, "Hey, when was the War of 1812?" And they're like thinking and thinking, "Oh, 2000?" That guy. I'm sure you've seen him. And I think that's the majority of of the population. I don't know how it is everywhere else, but in the United States, most people are kind of dumb. Of course, there are going to be exceptions, and I've tried to get my kids to play, and I have adult children, as you all know, and my daughter, when she used to
I
live,
literally did not know this.
I have grandkids, Hobo.
Yeah, when we call him Old Man Wikkett, like
I
We're
mean,
not being
we're just
I knew that
describing
part.
him.
It was, I mean, that was pretty obvious.
Yeah, okay.
Well, my daughter used to usually come home pretty late at night, and she'd see me sitting here playing, Star Citizen, and oh, you got these new joysticks. Why'd you have to have two of them? It's like, well, it's the preferred method of flying these spaceships. Oh, okay. She even knows the name Murphy Jack. It's like, how do you know Murphy
All
Jack?
should know that name.
What?
And
In the Western world, that's considered abuse.
well, of course, she would look, and because I have multi monitors, she always saw Murphy Jack's name in the Discord. She says, "Are you
Okay.
playing with your buddy Murphy Jack?" I said, "Amongst others, yes." But one day she sat down next to me and she watched me start the game up, and then after about 20 minutes, I'm finally leaving the hangar, getting ready to do a mission. She said, "Let me stop you a minute." She says, "Are you getting paid to do this, or did you pay to do this?" And I'm like, "No, this is a game." And I'm like, she says, "Okay, well, I'm going to bed. I'll talk to you tomorrow." Now, my son, on the other hand, he's an avid gamer. He's been playing World of Warcraft since Burning Crusade. I mean, he's very, very good at games. He's exceptionally good at games. I don't know if you guys know what parsing is. That's how you get scores in World of Warcraft that other people in the world can see. He's like top 10 in a lot of encounters in World of Warcraft, even to this day. And he's got his own kids now. And I've tried to get him to play this game, and every time I do, the first thing out of his mouth, "You're still playing that scam? Are you still sending money to those scammers?"
Oh my God.
And I'm like, "Man, it's not a scam." But I get what he's saying.
Wow.
And
Can we clip
this,
that? Can we clip it?
and this, I don't think it's a
recorded
scam.
forever.
No,
don't
it's
think
not a
it's
scam.
But I will say this. Like we were talking about earlier in the chat of Twitch, we were talking a little bit about, they need to advertise for Squadron 42, the single player campaign. I really think they need to get that out to the people, and let folks know, because the people who everybody who's going to play that game for 100% sure, they already have that money. That money was paid to CIG years and years and years ago. That money's been spent, right?
It's an incredibly difficult time for them at the moment because, usually, these kind of games, especially, I mean, this still is kind of cutting edge, I guess. You need decent specs.
That's
And PC
that's
building is
true.
hard right now. So they're going to need to go console too. That may delay
And that
things.
may be true, but again, every game recently, like there's so many games out there, like single dev games that have made it fairly big, have been super successful, and one of the main reasons is because content creators, streamers have adopted those games and said, "Hell, this is fun as hell." And their communities, that word of mouth, that signal boosting, really drives it home. And there's a lot of content creators that do Star Citizen, but they're mostly small. There's a couple of big ones that play it now and then, but for the most part, we need fresh blood. All of us here are going to play Star Citizen Squadron 42. All of
Now,
our
when you're talking
friends
oh no, go ahead. Sorry.
all of the people that, all of us, anybody that will listen to this podcast, they're all going to play Squadron 42. And they've already paid to play Squadron 42 probably 10 plus years ago when they bought their little package that gave them the MMO, Persistent Universe, and SC 42, right? So they need new money. I would think.
Hmm.
And I think they need to advertise for that. They need to start now. Like if we don't start seeing some ads or something March, latest sometime in April. I was hoping by now we would already see something if they really plan to release it by the end of the year. Christmas time is an awesome time to release it.
I can see that.
And I think it should be a $50 game. No more than 60 at the most for people that didn't buy in, because you're going to get so much new fresh eyes, so much new fresh blood into the infrastructure of this game. And if it's good, I mean, I think it's going to be pretty good. But if it's really good and folks really have that amazing experience and it's not janky as hell, I think it's going to push our game that we all love so much really over the edge. I think that's going to be the thing that really drives home what these folks have been trying to do all these years. But they have to commit and they have to get it over the finish line. And the longer the wait, the worse it's going to be, I think.
Now,
Those are
when you're
beautiful
talking about
thoughts,
these,
Wikkett.
yeah,
Sorry. Beautifully said. Can I just say just very short, and then you can take over. Agreed. The Squadron is gonna bring the fresh people, the fresh money. This Star Citizen also needs to be in a very good shape for that, because after they play Squadron, they will be coming to Star Citizen after that. We
yes,
also need this online experience to be ready to receive them and have at least 60 to 70% good experience.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't know if that's going to happen, that part, but their saving grace has always been, well, we're in development. This is open
Yes.
develop. Yes, but the average consumer of video games nowadays, the average attention span that we were talking about earlier, people there are so many different things to focus on constantly that take a lot less resources, that take a lot less time. And if you want to get the attention of a gamer that has a lot of disposable income, I mean, let's face it, most of the people that play this game are pretty damn old. I've heard rumors that the average age is close to 40.
Oh no, it has come down.
oh God,
No. It used to be 37, but in the recent years, it has actually come down to below 30. But yeah,
But
you're
you
not
need a
wrong
heck
about
of a
that.
I don't believe
system.
it.
You need a heck of a system to play it. Then there's all these ancillary things like, oh, do you need eye tracker or head tracker? Do you need sticks? I mean, you don't need any of that. You can get away with a pretty basic system if you're playing 1080p and you're playing kind of minimum stuff. I think you can get away with almost anything. To get it to play. It's not going to be great, let's face it. And of course, the game, the one thing that we always kind of lean back against is, oh, they haven't optimized it yet. Wait till it gets optimized, right? And I hope that is going to be a thing. I hope it gets optimized to the point where you can, put a $500, $600, $700 graphics card, because that's like a kind of a basic graphic card now. There's not a lot of people that can afford a $3,000 to $4,000 graphics card, and put it into like a $2,000 or $3,000 or $4,000 computer.
that is true. Not everybody is a baller like Jar Jar.
Not everybody's like me, baby. Balling here every day, hanging out, reading your comments. Reading your comments here on Open Comms Radio. That's what we do. We like to read your listener comments. It's a call-in show. We
I think
started
he's
this
gonna read comments.
to have your opinions, to learn a little bit about everyone here. And what we're going to do today is we're going to read your comments out loud across all the platforms. If you commented on the YouTube or you were on the Spotify or everything except for the Deezer, because I can't get into the back end of the Deezer. It is Lens. You can't get into Blue
Sounds like a
Sky. I
personal
cannot get
problem.
into Deezer.
These
So
nuts.
that is a black hole. So honestly, put your negative comments on Deezer, and everything else you can put everywhere else. Duke Later II, you have some of our recent listener comments
I
here.
haven't.
This section of the show is called Listening to Comments from Listeners. Ba-da-da-da.
Ba-ba-da-ba. All right, I'm gonna start with an important one here, which is from at SpicySC07, and he or she said, "I like the intro song."
Oh, huh.
Yeah, I feel like
Perfect.
Must be a
I'm
Bad
clown. Must
opinion.
be a clown.
that's
What
been
a
pretty
best
much
bad opinion.
unanimous
best
everywhere
listener.
that I've seen it. So that's good.
Best opinion.
Then I liked this one from at anti. Wait a minute, hold on. At anti lib delusions. Anyway,
Oh,
uh, and
I'm
it's
sure they're
looking
a
at the
gem.
thumbnail, which shows a lovely lady, which usually represents Cosmic Hobo in our YouTube shorts, and it says that's a dude, clearly.
So Hobo is
Yeah.
is famously Hobo's character is a lady.
That's a
Yeah.
And
Karen.
so if you happen to watch the shorts, Hobo is a lady in the shorts.
Yeah,
But
lady in the shorts, but a dude in the sheets, or
so there you go,
however you
Hobo.
want
How do you feel?
I don't know. It, it
goes back
depends
and
on
forth.
your viewpoint of clearly as looking at my avatar, I would not call that a dude.
Yeah.
I believe they have eyesight issues in that instance.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's
I
Or
think
also
voice.
that's
more
You have a
important to
dude
note.
voice.
I think it's one of those
Uh,
anti-lib dudes that spends a lot of time checking for Adam's apples. You know what I mean?
Well,
yeah.
I think it's important to note that guy obviously does not know how to play and is a complete noob Bob, because a smaller hitbox works better in the game when you're playing
Mm-hmm.
PvP, and that's why you suck at all
Wow.
contested zones, and that's why you get stomped
Yeah.
constantly, and no one wants no one wants you in your org. So go
Cool.
Little
away.
Okay.
bitch.
All right.
Yeah,
Cool. All
Little
right.
please
bitch.
like, comment, and
Teabag
subscribe.
him. Teabag him,
Subscribe.
Anubis, like Halo 1.
Yeah.
Take that, nerds.
And that's what you get for commenting on one of our videos.
Okay, Tiki's house. This was a big one here. Tiki's house says, "I like the new intro." Yeah,
Damn
that's
right.
another one.
Or
These
Another
terrible
are
winner.
not fake
opinions.
comments, by the way.
Wow.
These are coming up
Those are
from.
paid actors, fake
These,
news,
This
we
is
do not. We don't have
yeah.
enough money
obviously
to
from
pay any
California.
actors.
We got some
Hey, wait a
intro
minute.
enjoyers.
All right,
California does not like the
let's spread
new.
some of the heat here. At I'm having a coronary. It seems like they should
Oh,
probably take care of that.
Yeah, you
Uh,
need to contact the
the
pit.
only thing CIG cares to know is how to bait and switch their supporters with new OP ships that replace old nerfed ships and will be nerfed before the next ship sale. That's it. That's all they want to know.
I mean, we got
So
Levski and we got fucking engineering and everything else like that. I mean, like, you're clearly objectively wrong.
I mean,
Hold
no,
on.
you know what? I'm with him.
that's strong
I
feelings.
feel like
He's
they
having
would
a
already
coronary.
know that. Like, I don't think
No,
that's like that would be something they already know. So what would
I
be
mean,
to
maybe.
know there?
I don't know. At Vioblight, Vioblight, hate to add on to the scope creep, but one day a bullet-resistant shield and a power sword would be cool. Wait a minute, I feel like we've heard from this person before, maybe. Maybe for close quarters combat, boarding or something. I own a Legionnaire, and I feel like my boarding party will get shredded or grenade as soon as. Oh yeah, we've read this comment before, I think, Jar Jar. And they were right. We should have a shield in our on our arm, and
Correct.
we should run in there with Covenant swords and
Wasn't it
protect the farm.
somewhere mentioned that we're definitely getting a katana eventually in Star Citizen?
I think they were
What?
joking about that at one point, and I think they had said that they actually modeled it. But
I
we
mean,
were
we're
also.
getting a
In Wicklow.
we're getting a crossbow, so
I was gonna say we were supposed to have a crossbow like 2 years ago.
this year, yeah, it's coming this year.
Oh,
where's our
really?
damn lightsaber, Sig? Where is it, Chris? Oh,
Chris.
Wikkett. Who should we be asking, actually?
He's gonna say
Excuse me?
Sandy. It's always
Who should we
Sandy.
be
No,
asking
don't
about the
bring up Sandy.
lightsaber?
Okay. At Subprime Porcupine says, and then you go to leave the hangar and blow up to an invisible thing that didn't render. And then you get to the planet, open the ramp, and fall into the center. By the way, subprime porcupine, commas and periods are your friend. Fall into the center of a planet through a magical hole that looks like solid ground at the end of the ramp. Ellipses. That's a good pause. I like that. Ellipses are good. And they get you to Hathor. Try to shoot something with negative 15 FPS. That might be a personal problem as well. And 2 hours of desync when the server decides the AI is going to work properly and everything crashes and you just lost 10 hours of time. Poof, I feel like subprime porcupine is having a really rough time out there in the verse.
Switch to Spectrum, buy a newer computer.
Yeah.
Yeah, get one of those $4,000 graphics cards.
Yeah.
Right. And then send me your old one because I need to build
That
my
guy,
my
that
kid a
guy
computer.
sounds like he's playing on the China servers.
My favorite
What?
comment, and this is the last one we have this evening, which this
Well, we
was
got one from
part
Nikki
of
D below. We got one from Nikki D at the bottom there.
from,
Nikki D
okay,
called
all
in
right.
today.
Well, he's
It's a long one,
commenting.
though.
He's calling. Oh Jesus, Nikki
I know.
Drurvix. All right, there should be avenues in Star Citizen to allow for people to avoid combat to get at least a significant percentage of blueprints. I agree. There should be a large amount of blueprints that can be sold by players to other players after they're obtained. I think that's the idea. There should be some blueprints that are locked to you in that you get them from a mission and they are yours and only yours and can't be traded. But to the extent that you can only get the blueprints from missions, you should not have to do that mission or gameplay loop more than 5 or so times before it drops. It gets repetitive. Would be really unfortunate if we have low percentage drop rates and have to grind for hours and hours and repeat missions just for your hunting for that one blueprint. I agree. So they got these new rock breaker things in, which are supposed to be beautiful and atmospheric and well crafted. If they fuck it the same way they did with the uh see, I don't remember what they were called, but the underground facility there.
AST facilities.
Yeah, and then you end up grinding it over and over and over again just to try to get loot. That'll ruin it. I don't know what you guys think about that.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you and Nikki there.
I don't really have an issue with blueprints being mission rewards. I think my biggest issue is that you can't trade them, at least yet. Them all being account bound just kind of seems very counter to what they were saying that they want to do with the blueprints. And I don't know if they're going to physicalize them later on, but I hope at some point that, you know, whenever they eventually implement the player market, that the blueprints that you get from missions, like if you're getting duplicates, you can at least, you know, send them to people that don't want to do those missions.
Well,
True.
this is all currently just placeholder. Isn't that
Exactly.
right, Hobo? But hopefully, instead of having a mission reward, it would be something similar to like the tech smuggler, where you went in there and you finally got to break into the warehouse, and you know that's where all the ship components were. That's where you got the coffins and stuff. And then, like, maybe there's a machine you can jack into the machine, and there's a blueprint in there for you to grab, and it's like on a comp board, and that's the physicalized blueprint that you have to take back to your machine. Hopefully, it gets to be something like that. My hope, anyway, because it should be. I've been talking about this so much. It should be that you get a blueprint, you put it in your backpack, and if you get killed on the way out, well, guess what? You might lose your blueprint. Or you don't make it back to base, and you might lose your blueprint. Everything should be physicalized, I think.
Except for ship
I
paint.
know
Ship paint doesn't need to
that
be physicalized.
there will be some blueprints that will be limited, and I think those will be physicalized. But I don't think like your P6 ammo or whatever should be or will be physicalized. Like something simple like a basic blueprint like that, I don't think will be. But if we're talking a Bengal blueprint, yeah, that I think will be at minimum limited, but that maybe should be physicalized and processed in like a computer or something.
Well, you know,
But
like right
smaller
now,
stuff,
we
not so
can
much.
we can pick up the better weapons in some of these locations we go into. You can get better. You can get weapons. You can get scopes. You can get attachments. You know, the better attachments you can get, all that kind of stuff. You know, either you can find it, and let's say to make crafting worthwhile, either crafting allows you to keep repairing those things, or they have wear and tear on them. So there's a reason to keep going for them. Also, if that any kind of weapon that you could loot, you should be also maybe be able to loot blueprint to keep making it.
Well, all this is what they said, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean that's the hope. That's the hope.
Like, would
You
that
don't
mean
think
that
there should be a
like
limit
if
on certain
you're
things?
I don't think there should be a limit.
So, Bill, what were you gonna say?
oh, you're good. Sorry. So if the blueprint was physicalized and like you had to put it in your fabricator, then would that mean that the blueprint is basically localized to your fabricator? So then, like, if you take your fabricator out into the wild with you and blow up and die, it's gone.
Gone.
You
Ooh,
gotta-
that'd be a good one.
I think only for the big limited blueprints it should be that way, and by big I mean ships probably,
Mm.
because that would give space bases something to protect other than just resources. You've got to protect your blueprints too, and a reason to not blow up a base is to steal that stuff.
I kind
Ooh.
of agree with that, except
I
for
like
I would limit that to like basic things, like stuff that you can buy at a ship store or at a store somewhere, and you had that might be something that's a permanent thing. Once you have it, you have it. But
Yeah.
anything that's above anything that's not sellable or not purchasable in game, I think that should be the physical. I think that's what the line is drawn. I'd hope. Because then there's a sink, there's a faucet, and there's reasons to do things.
Thinking of faucet. Yeah.
Well, speaking of
last
reasons, we have
question. The last
Disman
comment.
7. Yeah.
Last one. And so, we've been trying to increase engagement because a lot of good callers on here, some familiar faces, and we've been accused of actually being actors and playing characters. So
Unironically.
yeah, unironically. But so we tried to branch out into Reddit. It did not go well.
Reddit hates us. LensNation is
Lens is
really
going to help us with
popular on
that, maybe.
Reddit. If you're on Reddit, you've seen LensNation's content. He's doing all the illustrations of the ships.
Yeah, he's got
You're always
awesome
getting
shit.
really positive feedback on Reddit, Lens.
Yeah. So other than
We
having
Thank
need
you.
talent,
help.
which is not an option for us, we'll have to look into how to do
Why
that
do they
ourselves.
hate us?
Well,
So
let me tell
okay,
you something.
so
I've been on Reddit. I've posted quite a few things on Reddit. They are all at 0 karma.
maybe it's
Well,
you,
that's because
Chuck,
they're all AI, posts of
right?
"Am I the asshole?"
Yeah.
One thing,
That's right.
it's
I'm in the wrong
because
sub.
I've been on Reddit like for 4 or 5 years now. So I started posting 2 years ago. Before that, I was just consuming content on Reddit. It's simply put, like you you can't promote yourself there at all. If I post my machinima there instead of my art, the chances of it getting engagement is extremely low, because that's where people are gonna highly likely gonna ignore you if you're putting a YouTube link. Hey, I made this cool machinima, whatever. Promoting yourself is very, very, very hard. So when I do artworks, my reason for doing art is simply because I enjoy doing art. I have always been doing art since I was a kid, and I love sharing my art with everybody, because that's the whole purpose of art for me, is that it cannot exist in vacuum. It needs to be seen. We hear about this thought that, hey, you just do it for yourself, don't do it for the others. But why? It's a community. I want to have a talk about it. I want it to be shared. I want it to be seen by the right people. So no, I don't. I do want to promote it. But when I do this on Reddit, it's never done like I'm trying to promote it. If you see lately, what I've started doing is like, now I always post saying, "Oh 07, I'm LensNation, and this is my hand drawn this." Why I have started doing that is, the problem on Reddit is you don't remember people. the people who comment on your posts or people whose posts blow up, do we even remember their names? Do we remember their
I do.
handles?
I keep a list.
You do? Oh,
If
okay.
somebody really
But you
irritates
see,
me, I got a list.
that's of course, if somebody posts negative, I remember them too. But so I've started doing that, and I want to create an identity for myself in a little bit. Like I want to stay relevant in the community. Not that I want to be famous or anything, but I want the right people to see it. So that's one way to do it. So not promote yourself. Another hack that you need, which we figured out, me, Reds Resort, and Fatbird, is that when you post something on Reddit, the very first few comments are very important. And they need to be the kind of comments that shouldn't be very obvious that they're trying to praise you. They need to be very neutrally positive. They can be your friends, man. Even the people here in the chat, if you post something, if a few of the comments are positive, you have very high chance of being accepted on Reddit. That's
You're
a
talking
hack.
about
I don't know.
manipulating
Yes, you
the
have to.
culture,
Yeah,
manipulating the
yeah,
algorithm. Yeah.
yeah.
But because
That's
people just follow along. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Because
Well, when I run
other
for
people.
Congress, I'm going to hire you, Lens.
No, no. Politics is not. It's the social media marketing. Unfortunately, the algorithms have made it hard for us. It's not fair. The system is not fair, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For example,
Plus all
like
the
I
AI.
can openly say, I really enjoyed my time here with you guys today because it's like I'm in a very chill radio studio where there's no pressure of pleasing everyone. This is a very nice experience. You should have more visibility, but the system is against you, mate. It's always going to be the big streamers who are going to get the more views, and the system will just promote them. So, yeah, you need to do the best you can to slightly tilt the favors your way.
Yeah, we please nobody.
We're
That's
trying.
just
You know,
generally
we're doing it for the love.
yeah,
We're not doing it for the money. But it's
Exactly
actually a
that
good segue.
remark is why it is so good.
And I don't want to leave Dizman. So Dizman7, I don't want to leave him hanging because he had some great feedback for us. We did post a thumbnail and a clip from the last
On
episode,
Reddit.
and Dizman7 said, um, really gently, he put it, "I'm not going to watch that based on a dumb thumbnail and clickbait title and description." And Jar Jar
Okay.
responded, said, "It's not clickbait if it's exactly what we talk about, which it is." And then Disman elaborated for Jar Jar. All the questions in the description are very clickbait. And now it sounds like a video of people just talking. I can theory craft with my own friends. Thank you. Seriously, who are you and why should I care what your opinion is? Everyone just posts garbage and expects everyone should watch and like it. Ugh.
Well,
Yeah. Why do you keep
You know,
producing
that,
all
Jar
this
Jar.
garbage?
I
You
think
upvoted that, Jar Jar.
if that dude actually came and listened, he would have actually enjoyed.
thank
I
you.
think Disman
Thank you,
should come
Len.
on the show. I think he makes some excellent points and obviously has some strong feelings. And that's
Yeah.
exactly the type of conversations we want to have here.
So you
Disman,
should
we
actually
know
get
you
in
listen
touch with that dude and
podcast.
ask him to why
I
don't you
should
come
DM
over?
him. I'll DM.
You should.
I'll share
Yeah.
him this.
Also, as a
He's-
person who had to recover from things like depression and everything like that, let me just tell you right now, lighten the fuck up and your life will be a lot better. It takes some time to work at it, but if you're going to approach everything from a negative angle instead of giving it a try and finding new things and new experiences, you are always going to be depressed.
Yeah,
And I don't mean to
bitch.
say that to being harsh, but sometimes you just need to kind of hear it.
This is a Halo 1 lobby here. All right? You
I
wanna
survived the
engage?
Halo 1 lobbies, you snowflake.
Also,
You
it's
wanna
Halo
engage?
2.
Jar
There
Jar
were no
Jabari's gonna
Halo
call you a
1
bitch.
lobbies unless you were setting up a LAN party. So
There
Halo
was
2
C.
lobbies.
Halo 2 lobbies. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Halo
It
2.
was Halo CE.
I get my
like,
I
there
get
was
my
some
Yeah, but
histories.
Halo CE, I mean, that was, if you had a LAN party, yeah, but you didn't have any actual public
And the
matchmaking
PC did.
lobbies. That doesn't count. That was like a decade later. Come on, man.
Eh,
Come on.
eh.
Well, if
You
you're
mean
still
games
playing
after
old
Halo
games,
3?
you're in the right place. This is Open Comms Radio, filled with a bunch of old people and old folks here. We have 9 of us
Millennials.
here today. which is quite the record. And we're coming up on 2 hours. So what we're gonna do is we're very likely gonna split this show into two. We're gonna have a part one and part two, LensNation, if you're okay with that.
Yeah, no problem with me.
Yeah,
LensNation's
post it.
okay with this. So that's what we're gonna do. When they get really long, that's just how things go here. It is a Star Citizen show, and we do want to keep it on the rails for Star Citizen. But I do know that Wikkett has eyeballed a different MMO once again.
Which one
After
is he
the
going to
death
kill
of
now?
with
Which
the
one is he
death
killing?
of Dude
The death
and the
knell.
death of Ashes
Listen,
of Creation. and
Ashes
whatever
of
the
I'm
other
gonna
one
Creation
call
was
their
was.
not my
investors and just
fault.
warn them.
I was
Yeah.
listen. I was
Hold on,
an
let me
Ashes of
bring
Creation
up my
enjoyer.
stock trackers so I can watch this one die.
Yeah.
Hold on,
The
wait, wait.
new,
inverse
the
Wicket.
new, the new
All right,
hotness in
go ahead.
my mind is this one called Scars of Honor.
Sell
Oh my
shares
God,
and
look at that.
start
It's
honor.
down 20 points already.
Sell.
It's
Sell.
fantasy, of course. It's not Star. Not
This just looks like a rip of
sci-fi.
World of Warcraft.
No, it isn't. It has its
Look at the
own
art.
mechanics.
The art,
I mean,
yeah, but the art is just World of
yeah,
Warcraft.
the main guy behind the Scars of Honor is from Eastern Europe. I forget what country he's from, but he's
My
got a whole
God.
team.
Oh, we got some
already
sexy
starting.
dwarf underwear. I like it.
Well,
This is like Cow World or what?
no,
We got sexy
Like
demon
World of
underwear.
Warcraft, we've established that. It's exactly the same
well,
as World of
he
Warcraft.
said
Oh, they even have sexy zombie underwear in this game. I'm on it.
WoW was a big inspiration, but there's other things, there's other mechanics, and it's free to play.
Yeah, but why is
And they're
everyone in their
doing
underwear?
he's very committed to ethical monetization
Ethical.
of cosmetic only. And I'm going to give you an example. I don't know if this will sway you or not, but one of the big things that they were going to have is that you could buy extra storage as a monetization avenue. And the community basically said, well, extra storage could be a pay to win mechanic. And a lot of people said, yeah, that's a pay to win. And guess what? Within like a week after they announced it, they said, nope, we're not going to do it. You guys think it's pay to win? We're getting it. It's out of here. No more extra storage. So
we don't support games around here that monetize assets and customizations. Okay,
That's right.
I play Call of Duty.
Oh,
Well, I would have checked it out, but it's already dead. The main dev just announced that they're shuttering their production.
well,
company,
there
and
is
it's,
in April. They have their
laying
first
on that.
open play test in April.
Yep.
They were going
And
to have it. Yeah.
and it is free to play. You don't have to do any pre-purchase. There's no. All you have to do is request access on Steam, and I think it's if you're an MMO player, if you like that sort of thing, if you like the fantasy genre, WoW adjacent, whatever. There's way too much to get into. I'll let you guys check it out on your
Right.
own if you're so inclined. I think it might be worthwhile. I'll be checking
Sounds
it out.
pretty
what was the
nerdy
name
to me.
again?
Is this
What was the
honor?
Scars
name?
of Honor.
Scars of Honor.
Scars of Honor.
If you want to see some
Ashes of
dwarves and
Creation.
zombies in
Draco
their
Mundy
underwear,
is back in
check it
the
out.
chat.
Yeah, I see him. He's down there. He's invited back up. He can come back up anytime he likes. We are creeping up on the end of the show here today. Before we do our last thing today, does anyone else have anything they want to add specifically about Star Citizen or inviting your kids to play Star Citizen or what have you?
Oh, I have one more thing.
Wicket.
Anybody else?
Afro Man won his court case today.
He did.
Oh yeah.
Hot dog.
Hell yeah, he did.
Afro Man. Give us the TLDR.
He got high.
No, well, if you don't know, Afro Man is the guy that the song about I Got High. Anyway, he was away. He was doing a concert somewhere, and the police broke into his house, stole some. Well, they confiscated money and a bunch of other shit, and
Stole some
turned
shit, you
off
can
his
say it.
cameras in his house, his security cameras. Well, he got pissed off about it, and he wanted to get his stuff back. Then there was missing money that they took, and he basically used the footage that he had captured of these sheriff's deputies getting into his house and their names, and he made a diss video and a diss song, and the police officers and I think that the police department sued him over that, and he won that today.
He actually
Oh.
made individualized, personalized diss tracks for each
Yeah.
of the officers.
It was
He was
funny.
Freedom of speech. Freedom of
truly
I think
speech.
it's
entertaining.
I think this is the perfect freedom of speech.
May it be preserved.
Yep.
May
Yeah.
it be preserved.
May it be preserved.
Gonna be our
Yep.
new thing. All right. Lens Nation, man, thank you for coming on the show today. Really happy to have you here. I hope you enjoyed yourself. Hope you had a good time.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. I did enjoy listening to you all. It was very nice, very cozy. Yeah. Even though I was not on the couch, I definitely felt the cozy
Yeah, there's a lot of us in
had a
this
warm
thing.
feeling.
Yeah,
That was
thank
good.
you.
It was good. It was very nice. Thank you.
We're gonna keep our eyes peeled on you, Lens Nation. If you're listening to the show, check out Lens Nation. You got all kinds of content. I'd say you're kind of like a variety content.
Really cool
Would you
videos.
be
Very
offended if I call
artistic.
you a content creator?
I do. I started as a machinima maker because I'm a creative producer in real life, and of course, fell in love with the game because of the beauty of it. And so I didn't really start. It goes back to my son. He wanted to do some like I've been playing it since 2018, and I did not even join an org or was not in a multiplayer platform or even on Discord until 2021. When my son started playing with me, he was like, we watched documentaries together, like mega transporters and stuff like that. And he's like, it'll be cool if we do a funny video about this in Star Citizen. And I was like, you want to do that? He said, yeah. So we started doing that. And after that, he's a big fan of Top Gear. He's seen every single episode of Top
Oh my
Gear
God, me
and
too.
Grand Tour. Yeah, like even the beginning, the very first one when James May wasn't there. So he's like, Dad, we should do Top Gear in Star Citizen. It's like, okay, let's do that. So we started doing Top Hangar, which kind of very few people know about it, but it's definitely more people know about it. And I, like slowly, community started recognizing me, and that happened. And we've done a few episodes of that. So I'm a machinima maker primarily. That's what I really really like to do. But I also draw, love pencils, and love digital art quite a lot. And of course, I get motivated by beautiful ships. So I started doing Star Citizen art 2 years ago and been sharing that. But I've drawn art for a lot of other clients in real life. I love it. It's four-wheel drives and vehicles. So variety in that sense of the way is there, but and then of course I stream here and there or whatever, do podcast, got involved in shoutcasting, racing. Yeah, there's a variety, but it's not different games. It's just all Star Citizen.
Yeah, variety of practice. What do you call it in art when you do different things?
Eclectic.
Technique.
I don't know. What do we call it? Yeah.
Multi-talented.
Whatever,
Autistic.
man.
Wait, what do we call it? I don't know. Well, Lens Nation, the way we close this show out is we go backwards, and I ask
Mm.
everybody the same question. I ask them, what the fuck do I ask them? Is there anything you'd like to say to Chris Roberts, CIG, or the people on the internet? We're
Yeah.
gonna go backwards. The last person tonight was Wikkett. Wikkett,
All right.
brace
Well,
yourselves. Is there anything you want to say to CIG, Chris Roberts, or the people on the internet?
Sandy and Chris Roberts and CIG, you get a break this week. I have nothing to say to you guys, but I do
Whoa.
have something to say
Wow.
to the audience and to the podcast enjoyers, the podcast participants, the guildies that we have. By the way, we are a Star Citizen guild called Red Scar Nomads. If you'd like to check us out,
Org.
I just want to say this. This guy Jar Jar here, he puts a lot of time and effort into hosting this, promoting it, making shorts, making different content for the channel and for Star Citizen. Go to the community hub, look up Jar Jar Jabroni, and give some updates to some of his content there if you think he deserves it. Thank you.
Thank you, Wikkett. I appreciate it. It's very kind. Sandy Roberts also appreciates it. Murphy Jack.
At least their lawyer
Anything-
says.
Oh yeah, because he's been muffled. What do you call it? Murphy Jack. Anything you want to say to CIG, Chris Roberts, or the people on the internet?
4.7's coming. Exciting. Yeah. Get in there and craft.
All right. Draco Mundi left us down there listening. Come back up if you want, Draco. Cosmic Hobo. Anything you want to say to CIG, Chris Roberts, or the people on the internet?
Give us a little taste of base boating at some point. Just like, little hint. Come on, CIG. I know you wanna.
Yeah. Lord Nubis. Anything you want to say to CIG, Chris Roberts, or the people on the internet?
Yes, if you're a regular listener, you'll know you've been waiting for me to say this all night. But I am so proud that Star Citizen is now slowly turning into Star Wars Galaxies, the
Yep.
truest and most ultimate, purest form of MMO with the best entire system that we've ever had until Smedley at Sony Entertainment Studios decided to just, oh well, I wanna make money like WoW, and then just completely destroyed it, and I'll never forgive him for that. No one ever will. But now we have Star Citizen, the great new hope, arisen for all of us to be the new galaxies, as we have been foretold.
Dude, you reminded me. We missed the topic. If you guys want to stay after this, stay for a second, and we're going to do a postscript thing. Bill. Perfect Bill. Perfect, beautiful, magnificent Bill. Bill, is there anything you'd like to say to CIG, Chris Roberts, or the people on the internet?
Be excellent to each other.
Perfect. Always perfect coming from Bill. LensNation. Once again, thank you for coming in and joining us. Is there anything you would like to say to CIG, Chris Roberts, or the people on the internet?
I believe in you, Chris. I was probably didn't believe in you more than I believe in you now since I've met you and seen you.
Knows where you live.
The thing is, yeah, keep doing what you're doing, mate. But there are a lot of good people out there who really, really believe in your vision. People like Jar Jar and Duke Leto who are doing these videos. So will you please start supporting even new content creators, please, and stop favoring the big ones, because these people have more passion than those bigger ones who are already just working on their analytics at this stage. Because this is where the real community is, simply put. Always keep supporting new. Like after Jar Jar and these guys have become big, stop supporting them, pick somebody new.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, don't support us.
Yeah. I want you to one day forget about me, but not today. Thank you, Lens. I appreciate it. Well, Duke, we did it.
We did it. Another one.
Another one in the books, baby. Yep, this is part 2 of the show. Duke Leto, you know what to do.
Yep. Yeah.
It's okay. You can do it.
You gotta do the thing, Duke.
Yeah.
I believe
you know what to do?
But I can't ignore the crazy visions of me in LA.
You're gonna get us copyright strike, man.
Doesn't matter. We're not monetized. It doesn't matter. We're not monetized.
Not
We can do whatever
monetized,
we
baby.
want.
Can do what we want.
No, you can still get a copyright strike.
No, we're gonna do it. I'm gonna put it in the end.
Yeah, you can still get a copyright strike. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I have all the
teaser.
strikes I need.
All shut down.
Doesn't matter.
We'll scramble it. We'll scramble it.
Da, 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 da.